this disembarks the official meeting and the start of the unofficial meeting. So
That's
this
the
is where
trouble
we
line.
all. So this is where folks like Eddie and me and Billy get to let our hair down.
Hey, what about me?
Check like that.
Look at him. Don't let Scott's hair down. That's terrible.
I'm all good. Then Scott, we need to go to Scott and check out his hairline.
There it is.
We haven't seen him in a while. Oh, there it is. Oh, you fixed your hair tonight.
See?
I'm just kidding. Looks the same. It still looks the same. But this is where we all get to know each other a little bit better for those that want to stick around. Those that don't want to stick around, you don't have to feel guilty about popping out, because we're just going to sit here and shoot a fat on the tailgate. Sometimes it goes off the rails. Most of the time, it does go off the rails, and the majority of the folks really like it. So, anyhow, this is where we get to know each other. And for those of you that are still on here, there were 17 of you that we weren't able to get to your gallery items. Pop in, not next week, but the week after, and get your names in there at the beginning, because our list is growing and growing and growing for the amount of folks that are wanting to show off their pieces of art. And we're only a 3-hour show. And the rest of us really want to see what you did.
I guess we need to extend the meeting and make it 4 hours now.
It's already late enough for a lot of folks already, I hear a lot of complaints about, can we start it earlier? And it's like, well, gosh, I'm already starting it. I'm starting at mid-afternoon for me, the way it is.
3 o'clock or 3 hours long enough. That's plenty.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. I mean, some of us, we go all night talking about wood turning.
Well, I think in about an hour and a half, it doesn't really go into wood turning anymore. It kind of goes off the rails.
No, it goes a solid 3 hours of wood turning. I disagree with that.
No, I'm talking about the after hours.
After hours.
Well, no, the after hours is wood turning, flat work, playing with metal, blowing glass, talking shit. Just after hours getting to know each other.
It's into talking shit.
Well, that's all the after. Well, initially the after hours are just initially for a couple people, and then various other ones wanted to stay on, and then other ones wanted to stay on, and so I just leave it open, So
yeah.
Then after a couple hours, then I start, bye bye.
Well, as long as we don't have Cade come in late. He's the one that drives the craziness.
Oh, I know, right?
He's already in, I believe.
Wait a minute. Cade's been on already. Yeah, Cade's on.
Is he just being hiding like me? No, he's not here, is he?
Okay. He was on.
No, there he is. He's there. Yep.
He's still here.
Yeah, he's
there. Talking shit about Cade for.
Well, because you do.
The hell I do. Not when you're around. Oh, good. Oh, boy, I hear Mr. Alabama in the background. How's it going, Gary?
Thank you, Terry, of course.
How'd the surgery go? Gary.
They're going to line up our top.
Gary.
He's muted. He can't find the button.
There we go.
Well, he just had back surgery, so everything went good.
I've actually gotten some sleep this past week since last Friday that I hadn't had since before Christmas. So I'm doing good.
Well, that's great.
Awesome.
Well, you don't look any better.
No, don't look any better. Probably look uglier. Every day I get uglier. Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
Well, he didn't go in to have plastic surgery on his face,
Hey, Gary, they didn't cut your ponytail, did you?
I went in. They told me to roll over on my stomach and show my ass. So
they didn't cut your ponytail, did they?
No, No, they didn't touch that.
Okay, all right.
I still got my friend hanging on with me. Oh, can't live without that one.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad the
You know,
surgery was a
When
success.
you get in your 70s, you got to have something you can hang on to. And I give all my rowdy friends a hard time because they've either lost all of their hair or most
Right.
of it. And I say, I'll sell you some at a phenomenal price.
Yeah, Scott would buy
great
some.
demo today.
Hey, I'm not the one that needs it, Dane. Look, you should be buying it, not me.
Hey, I'm good. I encompass mine. When I cut my hair, I cut all of them.
You
What
couldn't
little you
all.
have. Those 3 little strands you got sticking up in there, you always cut those.
No, I don't have them anymore. all I got is the Charlie Brown around the side.
Granddaddy told me a long time ago.
Homer Simpson look, huh?
Right?
Old Homer Simpson look.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alfalfa to the power of 3.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. So Gary, I'm making a new prototype for a. Actually, it's not a prototype; it's already been done. But I'm mimicking a guy from Holland on how he makes tops,
Okay.
and so it's going to be a top that spins forever. That's what I did. So I'd start. I've got an order to do some knife handles. Had a client send me some knives a couple months ago, and I'm just now getting around to taking the old ones off and cleaning up the tangs, and was pulling out some of my penning material for the scales. Then I had a light bulb. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember watching this video a long time ago. This guy was making tops, and he was using a brass brad going into the bottom and shaving it down and using that as the point that the top spins on. So I've got these copper scale rivets. So drilled a hole in the bottom of a piece of wood, and a little bit of CA, and
Show us a picture, Dane. Show us a picture.
There you go.
Press that bad boy up in there. So let me see. I'll flip the spotlight.
Because I'm going to be doing some of those this week too.
Dane, while you're trying to pull some of that up, one of our club
Ooh,
members
look at
has
that.
been turning
So-
Corian tile and putting a piece of Corian in the end and turning it to the point, using it
Yep.
on his tops.
So there's the piece
Oh,
of
that's
copper.
cool looking. I like that.
So what is that just a copper nail or something? What is that, Dane?
Think of a rivet, that goes
Okay,
into a knife
okay.
scale. And so it's the female rivet cap. And then, so the flat part of it, you just turn that off. And,
Okay.
and it's obviously it's copper, grain, and brass. You can do the same thing with, take it to your point. And this Dutchman, I forget his name, but he was doing the rocket tops, with the string attachment.
With the cord, yeah.
Yeah, and so he went over, he'd been turned, he was doing it was like a 3-hour live thing that he was doing. And he went over and he swept off his shop floor, concrete. It's just regular concrete like anybody else, any other typical garage, and swept it off, took it, pulled that thing like an hour and a half later. And you can see it spinning in the background. There was no camera editing at all.
Wow.
That thing spun for an hour and a half, for another hour and a half. And he said it would keep spinning if he let it, probably for, probably another hour, he said. I'm like, holy shit.
Is this Kunstbären or is this Ronald Kane?
Oh,
No, it was a traditional Dutch name. I
Good
forget
night,
his-
Billy.
it's got all the consonants in it.
Okay, fair enough.
one thing I learned about is top spinning too, but you have to have the right type of material underneath it to make it spin that long.
Well, like I said, it was just concrete.
I got a
I was impressed.
got a-
It was badass.
I got a
Better than
20
polished or
I got
something.
a 20-foot bowl or a 20-inch bowl that I turned a while back that I've got about 10, 20 coats of 10, 15, 20 coats of lacquer on it. And it's very shallow and it's a great top spinning arena because it's,
Yeah.
Real smooth.
Yeah, I set when I set mine up for display one, I use Coke trays. My wife's got a shitload of them, and so
Okay.
there's a couple of them she allows me to use, and that's what I'll set up and spin tops in, for the kids to see or whoever the audience is, and it's always a
Crowd pleaser.
tops that are spinning are the ones that are snagged, and yeah, I'll take that for $5, and I'm like, why don't you buy two, and I give it, and you can have it for $9. Like, yeah, okay.
I use a mirror. I got a circle mirror that I put down inside of a turn plate that I made.
Yeah, mirror works good too.
Now, and because I decorate the bottom of the tops too, you can see that part.
Right. Yeah, right. Yep.
Very cool idea, Scott. I've seen other people do that too. Yeah, I tried something
You
new
can
in
get
the
your-
shop today. I tried something new in the shop today too. I wonder what you guys think. I did a small box and scorched it. It's ash, and then
Okay.
I put
Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
put a concho in the top of it.
Oh, well done.
So yeah, I don't know. I just playing around with it. It's just ash. I got some sanding to do yet, but I know I like the way the conchos look. So
Let's
Hey, you
say
got turned
that
on to
again.
them from Kelly, huh?
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe that was him. Yep.
When he was showing off his bottle stoppers, putting the conches
Yes.
on the top of them.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
You get those.
Yep. I bought several different versions of it. They had on Amazon, they had a variety pack that had like 20 or 30 different ones in it. So got one of
Nice.
those too. So yeah, they're only like an inch in diameter, but they're great little decoration deals for turned pieces, small pieces.
How thick are they?
You can see here, it's like, 1/8 of an inch or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And you can buy some, like I got these other ones here that are a little different. That's the bottom of them. That's the top.
Oh, okay. Right.
But they're kind of like dimpled a little bit in the bottom. I don't know if y'all can see that,
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see the dimple in it.
but kind of small. Mostly they're flat though, or they have they're designed to either have a screw in them for use on leather work, like a horse harness or a belt or something, or somebody's
Yeah.
purse or whatever, or they've got one of those, like a pin, like a lapel pin or whatever, or they've got one of those squeeze deals that goes over a little spike. So you have to, whatever you're turning has to adapt for that. But
I like the ones that take the screws because it gives a pretty good throat on the bottom. You can glue into a hole. Or
Yes.
sometimes I've actually gotten a longer screw, like if I'm putting it in on the top of a box, I'll actually screw it down. Using a smaller screw, I'll drill the hole all the way through and screw it from the inside of the lid. And screw it
that's
down.
a pretty good idea, Scott. I thought about that. I don't know if my lids are that thin enough to do that.
You can go to the hardware store and find the right thread. You can find different lengths of screws. that
Good
go-
point. Good point.
That's what I did. Yeah, because the ones that come with them, they're really too short.
Yeah, they're designed to go through a thin thing of leather or whatever.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
once I just went and matched the screws at a hardware store. I actually took a concho with me to test it at Lowe's, and I found a set of screws that were just long enough.
Yeah, they have those find your screw size things on the next to all the screws. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a great plan.
And I find it's better than, trying to glue them down because the glue's going to fail, especially a concho like that. It's going to fail over time, I think. So that's why I screw them.
I used epoxy, so it ain't failing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you're right. The screw is a good idea, and if you just screw it in, then you give somebody. If somebody decides they want to change it, they can change it, I guess.
Right. I've done that at a craft show. This past year, in fact, I made some boxes and I had a set of conchos out that they could choose what they wanted, and I would just screw it on there for them.
That's a great idea. That's
They
a great
choose-
idea.
They choose the box and the concho, and I just screw them together. So
Very cool. I'm sure that increased the sales ability of things, huh?
oh yeah, definitely. Anything you could do like that, like if you're selling pins, I found that if you have the parts and then people can pick the clip and all of that, and you've got your pin press there, you can make a pin for them right then and there. The barrels are already turned. They just pick the kit parts that they want, and you just put it together for them. And
Yeah,
I used
especially if
to
you're
do
making
that,
them like
and
all.
then when you put it together, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I really don't like it. Can I try this one? Can we do this one?"
Nope.
never really had that problem.
Oh, I have out here.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I did one event like that, and I'm like, yeah, the hell with that.
I never ran
Well,
into
it is amazing to me how important what the pen clip is to a lot of people, though.
yeah.
I want a golf club, or I want a rifle, or I want a normal one, or I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's people see that as an accessory or something. Hey, Joaquin.
I found that to be better than having 30 pins made up already permanent and you're stuck with them, You
Yep.
sit there and put on what they want and you don't have as much inventory laying out there.
Well, that and I sell more because
Yeah.
it's like
You still got the inventory. It's just sitting there, not assembled. I mean, it's still inventory.
Yeah, but it's not permanent. So where people have to pick that particular one, they can choose.
particular
That was
one
just for me anyway.
allows them to pick what they want, and you
Yeah.
sell more that way.
Another reason why I don't do pins.
I haven't done that in a while, but when I was selling pins, that's the way I would do it. I'd set up.
I did it like that one time, and that was I bet I had at least 10 roller balls and fountain pens. Yeah, let me put that one together. That this combination, and oh wow, it really looks different when it's put together. And I'm like thinking in my mind, like, seriously, you can't see how it looks, the pieces sitting beside each other.
Well, it's like we all know that some people can see the piece of the turned finished piece inside the wood, and some people can't see it. So not everybody sees everything the same way. So I suppose that's part of the part of the artist trained eye or whatever. I don't know.
Well, it's just part of selling. You're going to have the ups and downs,
I've got the tools to take pins apart when they're pressed together, and you just unpress them. So
Yeah,
not a big deal. And you can still use the same parts over and over if you got the right tools to take them apart with.
Yep, you can.
Sure.
Dane, Matt, I don't know
Best to
if
give
you
your
can-
it's best to give your pin stock that you don't use anymore. Just give it to a new turner.
What do you want to say, Martin?
Go
I
ahead,
was just
Martin.
going to jump in, Dane and Matt. I heard you talking about spinning tops. Not just Matt, it was Scott, I think. That was also talking about spinning tops, which is why I left the meeting and ended up coming back because I pushed the wrong button. I watch a guy on TikTok who just makes tops. He sells them for anything between $40 and about $120. That is all he makes is tops. And I must say he's fantastic. But they're very different, and he's very, very good at using them. So I linked in one of the videos. If anybody's got TikTok, follow him. You can't understand a word he's talking about, but his lathe skills are remarkable making them tops. And the video that I've just posted there he shows you how he spins them up and uses them.
Oh yeah, they're the teardrop shaped ones. That's really cool.
He's fantastic to
Just
watch,
copy the
Matt, if
link.
you do have TikTok.
Well, you can. I don't have TikTok, but you can still see his videos.
I copied the link, so I'll figure it out.
I think
Oh,
obviously TikTok will want you to join, but I think if you double click
Yeah.
on the link,
Right.
it will show you the video.
Yeah, it's just- they're
He's
still
spinning
finding
it
a
in
way
his
to-
hand. Oh, that's cool.
Matt, every night when he does one of these things, he can put it on top of his beer bottle. He will launch it up into the air and put it on the top of his beer bottle. He'll spin it on the beer bottle and then drop it onto the counter on the lathe top. He can launch one from one end of his garage to the other end of the garage to knock Skittles down.
That's incredible. Yeah, he's speaking either Spanish or Portuguese. Yep.
I think he's Portuguese, but he makes them out of some fabulous woods. He makes them out of African blackwood, coca-cola. He does them in different colours of plex, Conti board, and all of that kind of stuff. He does some remarkable tops.
It looks like he's doing some out of the combo woods, and he's
Yes.
got some out of like he's doing some resin ones.
Yes,
All right, cool. Thanks, Martin. That's great links.
I watch him most nights. He's on at about 6 o'clock UK time.
That's so freaky. He can throw the top and have it spin in his hand afterwards.
Oh, you want to see him catch it on the top of a beer bottle.
Look, it just fell off. It fell off your lathe.
Oh, there's the beer bottle one.
Here it goes. It's gonna fall off the lathe. Oop, there it went.
my wife's little fidget tool. She keeps it on the countertop.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd better try and share that with you mentioning it.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
I can spin it in my hand too.
That's some incredible stuff right there.
Tops are fun.
It's a very skilled individual. There's the beer bottle catch.
I did
Tops are
some good
fun.
stuff.
Thanks, Martin, very much. That's cool.
All right, mate.
Yeah, I got one of my club members in my local turning club is an avid top collector, and he's paid too much money for a lot of the tops. He's got metal ones and all kinds of things. So he's an expert. So I want to learn how to make them. How to make those tops that spin forever.
Well, that guy,
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
watch a few of, either watch a few of his videos, or if you do have TikTok and you follow him and watch his lives, he's not only entertaining, he's very, very quick making them. But that is all he sells. And I have seen him sell 10 or 15 of them during a live at sort of 6 o'clock on an evening.
Nice. Wow.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's
Well, I always
It's a
say
niche.
people find their own market. I could
Right.
never sell a wand, but I have a friend of mine who sells hundreds of wands because that's his market. He's in amongst the people that buy wands, and I'm assuming that this Spanish guy, he is entertaining.
you know where
Um,
my market that buys them. It's at the head shops.
Yeah.
They buy wands at a head shop.
No, tops.
Dude,
Oh,
Top.
look at all the colors spinning around, dude.
Yeah. Unless I'm just stoned and think the
Well-
damn magic wands work or something.
No, they use them as a partying, like how we used to use play quarters.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
do it with the top, you know, on who can spin the top longest.
Yeah.
Funny.
Like, yeah, you know, and I'll get asked, can you make one that, you know, out of this batch, you know, one that spins super long and the rest of them don't? I'm like, sure. What color you want it? You know,
Guys, our
I got
club
no
doesn't
problem.
get to
I got
sell
no
very
problem
many.
I got no problem loading one side with a BB. They don't know any damn difference.
No, they don't.
One of our club
You know,
members
and then
is a
they-
pediatric orthopedist at Children's Hospital in Birmingham. And our club, he's also a benefactor of our club. I mean, he makes some pretty good sized donations to it.
Nice.
But we make hundreds of tops to give to him every year. And here coming up next month, we're going to be doing tops for Dr. Killian. And every kid that comes in their pediatric area, orthopedic area, gets a top. And he's got pictures all over the internet and all of the kids playing with tops at his orthopedic center. And they use it for therapy. But everybody in the club makes tops for Dr. Killian.
Dexterity.
It's tops for Doc. So coming next month, we're going to make tops for Doc, and we will probably have 200 or 300 tops going down to his clinic. And it's very worthwhile for the club to participate. And he, in turn, gives us pictures of the kids playing with them and all of that. It's a wonderful thing. Everybody likes top, even if you're in your 70s, we still play with tops, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, when people come over, you know, and you know, are just hanging out in the house and at the kitchen counter, you know, we've got tops on the kitchen counter, you know, they're all picking them up and they're spinning them. So another way to make so aside from having, you know, a thicker center mass coming down from the stem and then a wider base, which is key to making them spin really good. No admittance after hours, co-host. Is you drill a hole dead center, and you can also put in BBs there, so that puts that extra weight straight down the axial here.
Yep.
You plug the end of it, and that'll make it spin even better.
Yep.
Yep.
Me and Brooklyn stopped over Gary Roberts' house to say hi to him. He's the guy that founded the Central Texas Woodturners. You know, he's in his 90s. And so other than feeding the squirrels from the back porch, he brought out some tops for Brooklyn to play with. And one was he put some corian. So the base of it was corian with the little tiny brass tip and the corian, and then the rest of it was wood. You couldn't really see the corian, the wood.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he spun that thing, and every once in a while we'd pick it up real quick and start spinning it some more and tell Brooklyn she was over at the door feeding the squirrels. Be like, Brooklyn, and she'd look over and it'd still be spinning, and she's like, whoa. And then it might get to where it might be dying down, you know, and we'd spin it real fast. And hey, Brooklyn, look, it's still spinning. That thing's been spinning an hour. But it did spin a long time.
We're going to line up our high points.
Well, Dan, I think I'm going to have to go to bed.
All right, Martin.
How
Did
about
I,
you?
did I get that? Did I get the description right for the little blurb I put on there for you?
I think you did. I think I saw that.
I know I didn't get no thumbs up or likes or anything like that from anyone, but that's
Yeah, you did.
of anything that I
Yeah, I think you did.
did you give me one, Scott?
Yes, I did.
Where
Right
was
on.
it? What is it? I didn't see anything.
It's about Martin's inclusive barrel
Oh yeah. I saw that.
Change.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's what he has come up with and his marketing now is badass.
Yeah.
There's,
I've seen it.
I mean,
It is
it,
badass.
it, it beats anything and everything that the Drozdas and the Clues and
I was here that night
Thompson,
that he showed it
all
off
of them.
6 months ago.
Yeah, right. He's got his little patent
Well,
number now, so it's official.
Nice.
we will we'll show you it one night. One thing I don't like to do is push tools or anything else down other wood turners' throats, which is why
But I
lots of
can.
people don't hear or see it.
That's why you put it in
But
the
I-
chat. That's why I put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
it belongs.
Well, one night, Dave, when I get into my shed, I'll do a demo, and it'll be of a tool handle. How to make a tool handle correctly.
You did a demo that night for us kind of preemptively with the little bullets.
Oh, the
What was
cartridge
that?
keyrings. Cartridge keyrings.
Yeah, when you were doing the cannons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is better than the one he showed us a few months ago. He's modified it a little.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Yeah, we're all in one now.
Yeah, it's all inclusive. Plus, you got the main insert ferrule, and then you have the insert for the smaller diameter tools, which is spot on.
Oh, it's a lot quicker now. It's a lot better.
And some of us are going to help him get it so you can use skews and flat tang tools in it too.
Nice.
That's what we're looking at the moment, Scott.
And I'm going to call you and give you some ideas tomorrow. I've been playing a little.
Have you? That's a worry.
It's that engineer in me, you know.
That's the it was certainly. They're still there. Let me go.
No, I'm
No,
still
you're
here.
still there.
Yeah. It's certainly quite a challenge, Scott, when I've had a look at it. I don't want to put a second modification into it, and I'm really struggling to get them because the tool steel that they use in the UK for flat bar work is really quite odd. You've got a 7.5 mil bar, you've got 8mm bar, and you've got 10mm bar.
Okay. Are the tangs all the same?
Yeah, all the tangs are the same.
So all the tangs are the same width at the back.
Not necessarily. If I went with one tool manufacturer, it wouldn't be a problem. Because certainly with Ashley Isles, he would change his tools for me.
Okay. Because I've looked at some of the ones here in the US and they're all pretty much standardized one thickness tang in the back.
Right. But are they dropping down on the tang from the actual steel on the tool or not?
Yes.
Are they?
So they're dropping, most of them are dropping down to 1/2 inch width, which is 12 millimeters, I think.
12 mil.
12 or 13.
How come we didn't boot Richard out yet?
What?
How come we didn't boot Richard Henke out yet?
I don't know. Well, I haven't got to him yet. I'm thinning the herd though.
Richard's still awake. I see him moving.
I'm still awake.
Oh wow!
Not even paying
First time you
attention.
spoke.
No.
Been 4 hours, and that's the first word out of you.
I'm
My
still awake.
God, look at that. We even got a laugh out of him.
Yeah,
I'm
we
still
sure
awake
did.
and paying attention.
I
Hey,
saw
Richard,
you.
Richard,
I
take your
saw you
glasses off so
waking up,
you don't
Richard.
bend them.
No, I wasn't waking
Richard,
up.
I saw you waking up. You were definitely rubbing your eyes.
I don't know. By the time I saw him, it looked like he was rubbing sand out of him.
No, no. I've
Huh?
actually been awake all night.
Oh shit! Let me write that down on my calendar. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, do that.
Hold on. Let me get that. Let me get that. I'm gonna write it here on my workbench. Richard was awake whole time.
I'm here.
Right,
I'm
well,
here.
I'm going to
Alright,
go and
well,
get some sleep. Now Richard's woke up. I'm going to go and get some sleep. It's my turn.
All right. Go say hi to the
Good night,
missus for
Martin.
me.
Good night,
I
Martin.
will. Scott, I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you tomorrow at some point. No, today at some point.
Yes,
All right. Sounds
your
good, Martin.
afternoon sometime.
Right.
Definitely. All right,
Hey,
Before
buddy.
you
you almost sound like me. I'll speak to you today.
I know.
before you go, can I ask you what part of England you're in?
I'm now in the Midlands, but I was originally from the Northeast.
Yeah, I recognize the accent. I lived in
Yeah.
Bedford for a long time.
Bedford is just slightly south of where I am now.
Okay. I
Um,
was stationed there in the American forces, just outside
that'll-
of Shefford in Bedford.
yeah,
Yep.
that's we still have an American air base there. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Altonbury, Molesworth, Milden
Yeah,
Hall, Lakenby.
Elconbury.
Yep.
Hey, Martin.
And Leckham.
Malcolmberry's closed. Moldy Hall's still
Leckham,
there.
In
Leckham,
fact,
Lake and Heath.
in
Lake
fact,
and
I
Heath, that's the one.
in fact I leave next week. I'm going back.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah.
coming back over to England.
Yep. For
Are
a
ya?
vacation visit. Yep.
There you go.
I've still got friends there in Leamington Spa.
Right?
Nice.
Hey, Martin, what happened to your shop that you used to be in?
Oh, that's a long story.
Long story,
Who's just
Richard.
Yeah. Who's just shouted that, Richard?
You
Thanks for
what?
asking. Yeah, long story. Things went very badly for me last year, Richard. The economic situation has been pretty poor here in the UK for most of sort of the start of last year. And midterm in the year, we always rented our house and my workshop was part of the house. We'd been in there 14 years. And all of a sudden, my landlord rang me and said, "This is absolutely killing me. The government is enforcing new legislation onto landlords." And he said, "I want out." So he said, "Unfortunately, that means I need you out." So he sectioned what is called Section 21 on 83 of his tenants, 83 properties, because he wanted to sell them all. So I found myself in a situation where we couldn't rent anywhere because my earnings were showing so low from the beginning of the year. And me and the wife weren't able to even apply for a mortgage. So we were struggling to even rent anywhere, let alone move the workshop into another workshop. So it was all very much rushed, but I had to get everything out of my workshop into a unit and eventually find another rented property for myself and the wife. And with a little bit of help from my friends, not only financially, mentally, we've managed to get the house, pay a rent, get my lathe back into a very small building, and I am in the process of building a new building out the back of the property. So hopefully, over the next 2 or 3 months, I will get back into a workshop in England. But in the meantime, I also have a property that is in Hungary, and I'm hoping that I might be able to move between the two properties and build a workshop out in Hungary. So that's that's the life story at the moment. We just need to keep our fingers crossed, but it is certainly on the up.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. I just hadn't seen you in your workshop lately, and I was wondering. I thought maybe you might have had a fire or something
No.
like that. That probably would have been better than this situation. But
Oh,
Yeah, it would.
the situation last year was really dire because
Utter shit.
you go from having everything around you to all of a sudden you've got to try and find priorities, and the priorities was wife, children, home.
Yeah.
You know, you forget about the turning, but my
Yeah.
life is turning, and it really got me down in the fact that obviously I run wood turning Zoom as well, and at one point, being part of the club, not only having to run wood turning Zoom and come along to this club, I almost felt like I wasn't entitled to be here or operate my club, because all of a sudden I found myself not a wood turner anymore.
Yeah, I
And
could
that was
relate to
that was also one of the hardest things. I actually sat back and unfortunately I've got a lot of wood turning friends that said to me, you know, Martin, don't be so bloody stupid. You're still a professional turner, even though you're not in front of a lathe. You know, when you're a professional magistrate, you're always a magistrate. When you're a solicitor, you're always a solicitor. It doesn't matter that you've got a period of time when you're not there. So I did give myself a kick, and I did get myself back in front of the computers. And really, my main intention was to get myself back behind the lathe as soon as I possibly could. And I have managed to get back behind the lathe, not in the production that I was in previously, but that will come back very quickly. Or
Well,
I
I hope
intend
it
it to
does.
come back.
I hope it does, because I really enjoyed talking.
I can't not be. You know, I feel very comfortable behind my lathe, and it's what I've done for 10 years. I've done my own thing for 10 years. I always stayed away predominantly from doing, you know, anything that everybody else was doing. I just did my own thing. I designed my own work. I put my own work together and I put it out there, and I really, really pushed myself. Whereas this last year, I've almost had to relaunch myself as a wood turner, because some people didn't realize that I was a professional wood turner because I wasn't amongst the wood turning community. And I didn't need the wood turning community to know that I was a professional turner. I needed my customers that were buying my products to know that I was a professional turner.
Yes.
So I've had to almost reinvent myself and come back into the wood turning community, as well as trying to sell my work. So
Yeah.
it's been a difficult time, because it's very difficult. There's a lot of wood turners out there that are very well known wood turners, but they don't sell a lot of work. They don't make a lot of work. They sell a lot of tools. They sell a lot of lessons. They do a lot of teaching. They do a lot of demonstrating.
Rip off a lot
They
of
don't.
good wood turners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get back to where you were real soon, because I really enjoyed it.
I'll be back as soon as I can be. I mean, it's like I said, I've now got my lathe back in the workshop, and I am turning again. I don't have as much space, but I'll get a bit more space. I've got a bigger shed now in the garden. So once I get that roof on, and it stops raining in England. This is our problem also at the moment. From the moment I said I'm going to build a shed in the garden, I think it's rained ever since.
That was all right.
I know, right? It was like the next damn day.
I know.
And it hasn't
Literally
fucking
the
stopped.
next day. So, but I'll get
Well,
that built.
at least it's warmed up for where you're at, you know, because the other guy, you know, it's still cold for him.
Yes.
But
Hey, Martin. Hey, Dane.